The name and shape strategy refers to publicly identifying and criticizing individuals or organizations which engage in unethical, illegal, or undesirable behavior. This approach is used across various sectors from corporate governance to public health and environmental activism. However, the name and shame strategy is made effective if preferred solutions are prescribed alongside for a better onward movement. Whoever calls for equity must show the way. Our state security personnel are also workers who must aspire to be intrapreneurs. Remember, I said intrapreneurs, not entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs. Their individual entrepreneurial efforts will collectively help develop our state security establishment to live up to expectations, especially in this season of general elections in some parts of our world. It's for this reason that I crave your indulgence to stay with me in this 9th episode of the Intrapreneur Series. With yours truly, James. Yeah, up here. The Intrapreneur. Now, in the era of general elections, how should a country's security services or forces recruit without the elements of nepotism, favoritism, and non-transparency? How is this possible? We will discuss this shortly. In this same era of general elections, how should the state security authorities prevent arbitrary arrests, detention without trial, and use of live ammunition against protesters? We will discuss this also if time allows. In these pending general elections across the world, is there an entrepreneurial strategy available for the state security authorities to employ in nullifying assassination attempts on high-profile individuals? The answer is yes, and we'll surely explain how the strategy will be applied. And before we explain further, please be informed that this production is by the kind courtesy of Kingdom Harvesters Ministries, Your Touch Life Ministry. Yes, it's Your Touch Life Ministry. Jointly supported by Boca Dealers Ghana Limited, your one-stop shop for your onshore and offshore catering and logistical needs. And of course, Aruka Global, your perfect construction partner. Now, when it comes to recruiting for state security services and forces like the police, military, secret service, BNI, FBI, CIA, and the likes, the following entrepreneurial strategies are very important. If and only if really we want to do away with nepotism, favoritism, and non-transparency in their recruitment processes. Yes, when it comes to whether police in whichever part of the world, whether in Asia, Americas, Africa, Europe, whatever, there are certain entrepreneurial strategies to use when it comes to their recruitment. And if and only if we want to do away with, if we want to do away with nepotism, favoritism, and non-transparency in their recruitment processes, then, if and only if we want to do away, then we'll have to listen to this and learn from this entrepreneurial strategies to use. Now, this entrepreneurial strategy to use is in two parts. This entrepreneurial strategy to use in combating nepotism, favoritism, and non-transparency in recruitment processes of the military, police, whatever, the security services, the state security apparatus. We have two parts of this strategy. Now, and I'm glad to say that I'm going to handle both parts in this episode, in this presentation. The first part, the first out of the two parts, is a strategy which I believe, though I don't have facts on it, I believe it's being used. However, there is something about it that it's not being enforced. And that is why we are going through, or we are facing the kind of nepotism, favoritism, and non-transparency in their recruitment processes. So let's first start with the first part. The first part is this: there must be strict adherence to merit-based recruitment processes. Strict adherence to merit-based recruitment processes. I believe there is a merit-based recruitment process in the secret services, in the BNI, in the police, in whatever. I know there will be merit-based recruitment process, a procedure in doing that. I know there will surely be that. However, strict adherence to this merit-based recruitment process is the problem. We are not strictly adhering to the procedure that we have set for ourselves in the secret services, in the police services, in the military, in all the state security establishments. So, we have the issues that we're having now in the recruitment processes. In fact, most of the places. Yes, I said the other time that there are levels in these. Some places are better than the others, but it doesn't mean we don't have such elements in there. So, the first part, as I said, there must be strict adherence to merit-based recruitment processes. Now, what are these recruitment processes that should be merit-based? It's in 3 parts. So, first of all, the Intrapreneuring strategy is in 2 parts, 2 main parts, and we are handling the first part. And the first part has strict adherence to merit-based recruitment processes. And this recruitment processes has 3 main actions in there. I'm going to handle that actions right now. So there are 3 main actions to take in strictly adhering to merit-based recruitment processes. Now, these are 1. That's 1. We need to establish very clear, standardized criteria for recruitment, which will be consistently applied to all candidates, whether your name ends with Putin, your name ends with Biden, your name ends with Akufo-Addo, your name ends with Mahama, or your name ends with Trump. This standardized criteria for recruitment should be consistent, must be consistently applied to all candidates in the initial shortlisting processes, using their educational qualifications, physical fitness, that's by observation, criminal records by observation, and professional skills by the same observation. That is in the first, the first action to take. In fact, the first action to take is by really carefully studying whatever candidates have presented, the documentation that they have presented. And these documentations they presented are in response to whatever announcement, whatever job vacancy announcement that was made. So they've responded, and in this job announcement, surely the first part of it to use for shortlisting will be your educational qualification, will be your physical fitness, will be your criminal records, will be your professional skills. And in trying to shortlist the people, we do not consider whether the person has a certain surname or a certain first name, whether the person is black or white, whether the person is male or female. If we stick to this first one, we are good to go. We will be able to avoid nepotism, favoritism, and non-transparency. Now, number 2 of the 3 actions to take. There must be comprehensive written exams based on the initial shortlisting process. This examination must cover physical fitness tests and psychological evaluations that are designed to objectively assess the candidate's ability without bias. Now, these exams must be jointly administered by the respective state security establishment and the apex examination body in the respective country. So, we move to the 3rd one. There must be transparent scoring procedure. The results of each stage of the recruitment process must be publicly published, ensuring that candidates are selected based on their performance and not on personal connections. So these three things, and I believe these three things are there. They are part of their procedure, just that they are not strictly adhering to them. They are look. If you are part of the security apparatus, you are part of the security authority, and you have these procedures and you are not following, you are just being an ordinary worker. And an ordinary worker is not profitable. And if you are not profitable, you need to vacate the position. If really you matter in the position you are occupying, then you should be aspiring to be an entrepreneur. And if you are aspiring to be an entrepreneur, then surely you must strictly adhere to this or these procedures or processes in recruiting. Now, in trying to strictly adhere to the merit-based recruitment process, there are 5 entrepreneurial guardrails, and this forms the second part of the strategy. Yes, so there are 3 actions to take in the recruitment, and that forms the first part of the entrepreneurial strategy. So then now we get into the second part. The second part has guardrails to make sure the 3 actions are really done. So you cannot only have the first part and think that you are okay, because I believe the first part, the 3 actions are there in their procedures. They are there in their procedures. But because the second part, they are really not paying attention to, or they are not giving importance to, we are having what we are having in our security establishment. So as I said, in trying to strictly adhere to merit-based recruitment processes, there are 5 entrepreneurial guardrails which must be in place to ensure that the initial shortlisting, writing of exams, and scoring are truly transparent and void of nepotism and favoritism. But before we get into discussion of the 5 entrepreneurial guardrails, let me humbly chip in my request for your support. The needed support is for you to follow me on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, in all of the episodes that we've had so far. When you follow, please subscribe for free, like and comment constructively, and share with friends and family to support this agenda of making our world a better working place. So now let's handle these 5 guardrails. 5 guardrails that we need to have in place to make sure our recruitment, the 3 recruitment processes, go through as expected. So number 1, there must be the involvement of independent third parties, such as civil society organizations, human rights groups, or international observers, to oversee the recruitment processes. And their role will be to ensure fairness and transparency. If it comes to state security, these people, these entities, 1 or 2 of them need to be involved. The second guardrail, there must be an established anti-nepotism and anti-favoritism policies. I take it again. There must be an establishment, or there must be an established anti-nepotism and anti-favoritism policies which prohibit the hiring of close relatives of current employees and ensuring that the recruitment decisions are made based on merit alone. And this I'm talking about the security services. That the state security services. That is not where we do brother and sister, uncle and niece or nephew, son and father, in-laws. No. This is state security. People's lives are at stake. The policies must include whistleblower protection, so that there are mechanisms for reporting favoritism or nepotism within the recruitment process, with protections for whistleblowers to prevent retaliation. The third guardrail, There must be the use of technology. Yes, there must be the implementation of blind recruitment processes where the identity of candidate is hidden during the initial stages of evaluation, so that we don't know whether the person is a son of Akufo-Addo, a son of Mahama, or a son of Trump, or a son of whoever, whether Putin or whatever. We don't get to know at the initial stage. No, there must be the introduction of a technology. Now, this can reduce bias based on name, gender, or background. Use of digital platforms must be important. They must be important to track the progress of candidates through the recruitment process, ensuring that all actions are recorded and can be audited. Because people do not want their actions to be recorded and audited, they will not use this digital thing. They will not introduce technology. They will use their own way of doing it, ways that cannot be audited. And until this third intrapreneur strategy is used, this third of the second part of the intrapreneur strategy, if this is not used, we are still going to have issues that we are having. The fourth guardrail: conducting regular audits of the recruitment process to identify and address any irregularities or biases. Let's move to number 5. There must be an established and very accessible appeal process. It's not only in the judiciary that we have this. There must be an established and very accessible appeal process. The establishment of a clear and fair process for candidates to appeal against recruitment decisions is very important. This ensures that any perceived biases can be reviewed and addressed appropriately. Well, so we just discussed what we just discussed is the intrapreneur approach in recruiting for state security establishment, and this is applicable in every part of the world. Now we move to consider intrapreneuring approach to the use to be used by the state security authorities to prevent arbitrary arrest, detention without trial, and the use of live ammunition against protesters in the era of our general elections, or the general elections across the world. Yes, this is the next section to get to. Let's see if we can. Check my time, and when I start, we can't finish, so we may have to freeze this. My time is up, so we'll have to freeze this next session for the next episode, so that when we get into the next episode, I can talk about fully. Now, when I start, I wouldn't be able to really complete it, so and it will not be nice serving you meal and halfway I'll take it from you. It's not good. So forgive me. Let me show this a part of the intrapreneur strategy or approach for the security authorities to prevent arbitrary arrest, detention without trial, and the use of live ammunition against protesters, especially in the era of general elections. The approach to avoid this. Let me skip it. Let me show or freeze it. Let me put it in the freezer, so that in the next episode, which is coming very soon, we will handle it fully. Because if I start now, we will not complete. So this is episode 9. So the next will be episode 10. So episode 10 will continue with the entrepreneurial solutions to the street campaign on the name and shame to bring sanity into our working world. Do follow me, share the link with your contacts, and stay blessed till we meet again. I remain yours truly, James. Yeah, up here. The Intrapreneur. See ya.